episode of, you know the name already, the Match Day World Cup show. So welcome everyone. I'm delighted to have with us today the one and only, obviously, Ty here with us.
How you doing, man?
Sabi is here also again from We Talk Ajax,
So
representing Netherlands. Ty representing Brazil, by the way. Yeah, he's English, but he has a soft spot for Brazil, and he knows everything about Brazil. You guys ask questions around this, but trust me, this guy is on point on Brazil. We have obviously Paulo for Portugal. A lot to talk about for Portugal, mate. What
Yeah.
happened? Let's keep it for later. Let's keep it for later. And also we have Victor making his debut for Spain today. Welcome on the show,
guys.
mate. Welcome.
welcome.
Hi guys, nice
Uh,
to
guys,
meet you here.
nice to see you, my man.
So before we kick off, guys, I just want to give you a little reminder on the Matchday app that is sponsoring the show. So the Matchday app is all about digital collectibles, and you can see your squad on matchday.com. You can scan the QR code on your screen. You can also put your Matchday predictions, and also you have a leaderboard with your friends, etc. So it's a great app. So give it a check. If you're on a desktop, you can just click the link on your screen as well. So guys, what happened in the meantime? Last time we talked, a lot happened here: Brazil, Netherlands, Portugal. We're gonna talk about Spain as well, because Spain is gonna play against Germany soon. But I'm sorry, but we need a kick off with Paulo. 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 I'm sorry, bro.
Uh,
Again, we're saying what happened, but that's an amazing, that's a great victory. That's a great win, but
Yeah.
still a bit disappointed. Tell us
Yeah.
everything.
I think, look, the points matter in the end, but when I was witnessing that performance, I mean, it was a horror show. The first half, if you guys watched the game, I mean, what I saw was just, I mean, we were dominating possession. Ghana, I thought, done very well to defend, and we were struggling to create. Had a lot of questions about the lineup as well. I thought that Santos, every time I see Santos with a Portugal lineup, is very imbalanced. I thought that we
Sorry to cut you, Paulo. Where was you, Nuno Mendes?
not there apparently.
Yeah.
Not there apparently, bro. So too many questions for me. Do you know what I mean? Too many questions. But Nuno Mendes is one of them. I would have started a defensive midfielder because even though Ghana were quite poor when they did have possession, I did feel that there was still a threat there with Williams on the counter with his pace, and Ghana have a lot of pace. I feel like it was very. I think Fernando Santos was underestimating Ghana. You know, going with Ruben Neves and Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva in midfield. I think it's your first game. You know, you need to win the first game. You've got to be solid. And I think that, yes, we dominated possession in the first half. I thought we couldn't create anything. A lot of dodgy decisions, though, in terms of VAR.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot that I forgot. You know, at the end of the game, I was like, geez, there was a couple of decisions where I think the ref should have taken a look at that. There was a penalty one on, I don't remember, I think it might have been Felix who got kicked. The Ghanaian player headbutted Felix as well. I thought that was a red card. But then you say, is a Rafael Leão one offside as well? The VAR didn't check that one. There's a lot to talk about. And then the second half, I mean, Jesus, the last second, Costa doesn't check. Where's his awareness? But then again, who's communicating to him? There's a player right behind you. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, guys, it hurts my soul to see this kind of performance.
So the point is, we all expected more, obviously, from Portugal, but we need to remember that Ronaldo smashed another personal record as well. So I think he's above Pelé now. Or tell us about that record.
Yeah, so 5 consecutive World Cups now? He scored in every single World Cup, which is crazy. I mean, even the penalty itself, I don't know what you guys thought, but I didn't think it was a penalty.
That was
That was a bit soft.
You know what I mean? I didn't
man.
think it was a penalty. Like, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. Of course, I want my team to win, but it wasn't a penalty. And look, what a record, man. What a player, you know. What a player. Of course, there's still people talking about whether he should be in the squad and all of that. But, you know, it's just about the team for me. I just want to see the team perform. And I'm glad with the result.
Yeah, do you know what's
Victor,
so funny?
Victor is saying yes, because Victor is a massive Real Madrid fan. So obviously Ronaldo is a legend at Real Madrid. Tell us everything, Victor.
I do really believe Portugal is one of the most favorite teams for this year for the World Cup for me. Portugal and Brazil. Portugal, yeah. We were expecting more than we got the last day with Portugal, but you got the 3 points. You still have Cristiano Ronaldo. He's there. He will be there. And I can bet if he didn't make the penalty, he would make another goal that day. And Joao Felix is working. Your attack is working. okay, during the first time you struggle to create occasions, but on the second time, every time you arrive there, you smash them. So be careful with Portugal. I do believe they're really one of the favorites for the World Cup. And yeah, we were expecting more, but give them some time. Give them some matches.
That's what I was saying as well. Especially when you look at it, like we said, it's the first game. You've got teams like Argentina and Germany that haven't managed to get the 3 points. We've seen obviously Portugal have. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not going to say I'm a big critic of him, but I think Paulo, as a Man United fan as well, I'm being a Portuguese obviously fan as well, a Portugal fan. You look at Bruno Fernandes and come on, we know Manchester United fans, some don't want him in the starting lineup, a bit like when you talk about Ronaldo as well. But yesterday you go 1-1 with Ghana, and then he plucks out 2 different types of assists. Obviously, the ball carrying one that sets up Leao. Then he's got the pass that gets a bit fortunate with the deflection a little bit, or a little touch for Felix. But at the end of the day, he's still getting himself in them type of positions. And I thought for a player that gets a lot of critics as well, I don't think sometimes there's enough plaudits for players when they do the right things. And yesterday, the second half, he turned it around for you guys with them 2 goals, really.
Yeah, I thought Bruno was one of maybe 2 players who come out of that match with any sort of credit. I thought Rafael Leão was phenomenal when he came on. And he should have started that game for me.
He's a different profile.
There's different levels. And against Santos, I think when you look at it, he should have brought him on even earlier. You could see that Ghana were making subs. And I know a lot of Ghanaian fans were saying that they weren't happy with the coach in terms of the subs they made, but they made subs earlier than us. And Rafael Leão should have come on earlier, because you could see Ghana was starting to gather more possession, creating more chances for themselves. And, on the counter...
Paulo, we need to talk about what your keeper did towards the end of the game.
As my heart was like, oh.
Wow. The worst part about it, do you know the worst part about it was? Before it happened, you could see Inaki Williams waiting, but then the camera went. He hit the crowd, and then they got the camera back. And
crazy. I can't believe he missed it as well. He did everything perfectly. The timing, he was sneaky, perfect.
He slipped.
Mate, that's such a shame.
From Portugal the other day, I have to say, when I saw Iñaki doing that, I would love him to make the goal. I'm sorry, but Iñaki is such a good guy. We don't love him in Spain, so I would have loved him making that goal. We saw that goal so many times in the Spanish Championship.
Yeah.
So making on the World Cup, we're playing for Ghana instead of Spain.
That's a massive professional mistake from the keeper, though. You should be alert. Like, you should be aware of this kind of stuff. Like, check your back all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I was very surprised because the camera was still showing the replay of something else before that, and then you see there some madness is happening. Williams slips, and then but the thing is as well, though, I think the players as well should be telling him as well. Like, Acosta already makes that mistake.
Yeah, like be careful, like Manon.
Yeah, Manon. You're just there standing. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're just there. It's like they thought, oh, he probably knows, or they didn't expect Williams to press Costa in that moment. But come on, man, you got to be better than that. It shows a lack of awareness, concentration in that moment. You think the game's won. But guys, like, as we saw that game, when Ghana scored that second goal, I was like 3-2. And then when he does this, the celebration.
He wanted something for Instagram, didn't he?
For real.
I have to say, one of the most important things about Ronaldo, taking now about your goalkeeper, he has that mentality that in a minute, 98, 97, whatever, he's thinking already to go into the looking room, and then the match is done already. But if in any moment with Ronaldo, if you're on those minutes, you're tying up the match, he's the opposite, and you got that guy on your team. So that's the most important thing about him, the mentality.
So, Paulo, you're playing Uruguay next, isn't it?
Yeah, Uruguay Monday.
So, talking about Uruguay, they drew against South Korea. I don't know if you guys watched the game. What do you make of that game, your next opener, Uruguay, South Korea?
To be honest, I wasn't too impressed with Uruguay in that game. I did watch that game back, and I thought they were, the attacking players I thought were quite poor. I thought Darwin Núñez wasn't great. I think the only player that really stood out was Valverde. And I said before, I'm actually a big fan of Valverde. Again, is he a world-class player? I don't think so, but he did stand out in midfield for Uruguay. And that could be an issue because, as we saw, I know it was a different game, Ghana. But for this game, I fully expect either William, João Pelinha to start in midfield because you need that solidity in midfield. I would start João Pelinha. I think he's a much better defensive midfielder. But you need that sort of player in midfield. And I mean, regardless of what people say, they got Cavani, Suarez, Núñez, you've got a mixture of experience and a young player in there who can bang goals, And even though they weren't great, a lot of these first games in the group stages haven't been that good. So that game, we faced them in the World Cup in 2018. They knocked us out in the round of 16, 2-1. A different team now. But I'm excited to see what team he goes with because, again, I still think it's still a must win for me. It's a
Yeah.
worry because
Yeah,
a
of
lot of
course.
these groups you're seeing wins, then you're seeing losses, still on 3 points. You need to win your last game. I don't want that type of pressure on Korea because I think Korea done somewhat well in that game as well. So it is a worrying game for me, to be honest.
The other day, I was watching the show and I saw Tai talking about Japan as one of these awkward teams you don't want to see in face. For me, South Korea is another one. You know, they got a couple of players that they can change the game with, just dribbling in the past, like Kanin Lee and Son. And at any time, they got a good defense. So you can be nailing the match, taking it easy, and then bam, you get a goal, and those guys, they beat you 1-0, and you go home.
Exactly.
So that's a weird team, and you have to be careful with them. But anyways, I think also it has to be a must win for Portugal, and Uruguay should be also a must win for Portugal. Uruguay, they got a really nice team for FIFA, but maybe not for reality. Luis Suarez and Cavani, they're not at the top level. Luis Suarez is not even close. So that's the big problem. And Valverde can be doing anything,
I was about to ask you, Victor, about Valverde because it looks like Paulo is a big fan of Valverde and has some doubts at the same time. What do you make of Valverde at Real Madrid?
Valverde is on his way to be a top-class world player, but not right now. He's been doing this way during the last couple of years. This year is the first one, established as one of the stars of the Real Madrid team. So give him some time. Maybe at the end of the year, we can be talking about Valverde, maybe in the list of the Golden Ball for the 50 players. Maybe, we don't know, but give him some time, It's been like 12 games this year. He already made like 8 goals, which is incredible. The other day with Uruguay, he always, trying to make a goal, trying to shoot from out of the area, and then he also was at the point of making 1 goal. So
he has good shots.
he didn't make a goal, but he didn't make a bad match. He made the nice match of Uruguay. He was, for me, the best one in the team.
Yeah,
he was everywhere. Yeah. So maybe he missed the goal. Yeah, but he's not an attacker. He's not
But Uruguay again in defense, they lack speed. So I would definitely play Leao. Because Caceres slow, you got
Diogo Godin,
Oliveira,
and even Jimenez, he's not the quickest. He's a bit of a pitbull in there, but he's not the quickest. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I agree, Sabi. Do you know what? I wanted to throw one curveball in there, just because obviously with Portugal, I know that obviously they got the victory, but you look at someone like João Cancelo, and I wanted us to have a little bit of a discussion about him because people can forget about it. But I thought he was quite poor, if I'm honest. And
he was terrible.
Exactly. And I look at him as a right back, and I think he's one of the best in the world, obviously. But defensively, I think because the way City play and he comes into midfield, he doesn't really have to defend.
Yeah.
But at international level, he does have to defend. And I think even for the second goal, he misjudged the timing of the ball, and Ghana got in and then obviously lumped it over and they got the header in. But he's coming up against Darwin Núñez, who normally plays on sort of the left channel for Uruguay. And he is a type of player who's just a nuisance. He makes awkward runs. He gets in behind. He is quite strong. He's quite dynamic.
Yeah,
I think Núñez and Cancelo is going to be an interesting battle. So, Paulo, I wanted to see what you thought about Cancelo's game because
absolutely, I thought he was one of the worst players on the pitch. To be honest, I thought him and João Felix. I know João Felix was involved in both goals, but I thought he was quite poor for 75 minutes. João Felix kept losing the ball, getting dispossessed, making wrong decisions in terms of when to pass. I think Cancelo was really poor. I think I thought him and Danilo as well. Danilo was terrible for me.
Told you. I told you should play him in the midfield. I told you.
It's true. It's just I've seen good things from Danilo, but everything went wrong for him against Ghana. Everything went wrong. And Cancelo was poor. I think partly the reason as well, I would say, is because every time Ghana were on the attack, there was no real support for Cancelo as well, I would argue as well. I think when you got a defensive midfielder who can, support the fullbacks and the entire defense, you didn't have that. You had Ruben Neves, you had Bernardo Silva and Bruno Fernandes, very attacking players. So when you have those attacking players on the field, you're lacking that solidity and that person to protect the back four, which wasn't there. Only when William came on, you saw a bit of more solidity there with William there. And even then, I don't think he's the best defensive midfielder. So yeah, I thought Cancelo was poor, very poor.
I was at the point of saying that, first of all, for me, Cancelo, when he plays on the back defense, on the right back, he's a little bit lost. He's used to do a different thing in City. He's playing on that position, over the paper, but when the game comes in, he's going to the midfield, he's going to the center, he's moving around the midfield. He don't need to go on the right back. There's another player taking that position in defense. And in the offense, maybe sometimes he's going on the right side, but mostly he's in the midfield. He's trying to touch the ball with the other guys. and creating that superiority that cities usually have in the midfield.
Yeah.
That's my opinion regarding Cancelo. He's still a good right defense, okay? But he's a little bit lost. And you got one player who is, for me, one of the best in his position, and no one noticed, which is William Carvalho. I don't know, William Carvalho is not playing with Portugal. He's maybe not the best defender, but he's a back-to-back. He can arrive in the defense and also in the offense. He can create that superiority. Yep. He can contrast when the other team has more midfield people. And for me, when he came in the field the other day, he made the difference.
Yes.
And I think Portugal need him.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, the weird thing with William is that I'm not his biggest fan. But one thing I will say about William is that I think what's underrated about him is that, yes, he may be a defensive midfielder, but he is a player who can create for the attack. He is a player who can do that.
He has made some amazing goals in Spain.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
You would believe he is Romario when he made the goals.
Yeah, so I think in that aspect, it's slightly underrated, and we were missing that defensive midfielder to protect the back four, which wasn't there. So I thought it was quite naive of Santos to do that. But, you know, he made the change. He brought William on, he brought Leao on, and they made the difference, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sahbi, talk to me, man. Talk to me. Netherlands, Ecuador, 1-1. What happened? You know, we discussed last time. I said Netherlands is struggling, and we saw it.
Yeah.
What's happened here? Like even the defense was all over the place, man.
Yeah, bro, we played very bad. I mean, we lacked a lot. We lacked aggressiveness. We lacked creativity. We weren't able to create chances in this game. We relied too much on two specific players, Gakpo and Frankie de Jong, and they weren't on top of their level. Even though Gakpo, an excellent talent, I can predict a transfer probably in the winter to United. Because it went almost he almost went to United, but I can predict he will probably go to there.
Depending if Apple is buying the club. Apparently, I heard Apple is looking to buy the club. So maybe iPhone, is it going to pay him with iPhones or something?
Yeah, most likely. But then, I mean, Ecuador deserved more than a draw. They were more aggressive, were way more motivated to score a goal, created chances. I mean, we didn't even had more than 2 shots on goal, and we're actually the first European nation that could not have more than 2 shots on goal during the World Cup. So that should say
I have the stats actually here with me. So you're right. It's 2 shots on target for the Netherlands, 15 shots on target for Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean.
So you had the possession, 55%, 45% for Ecuador.
We always have possession. That's
just 2 shots on target. That is really poor.
Meaningless possession, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really poor. But the only good thing that came out of this game is that we gained a point, and that we now play against Qatar. So that should be
basically. Sorry, did you like the changes? Because obviously when I got home, I missed the first 20 minutes. Then I watched the rest of the game. Obviously, but Timber in. I know Koopmeijer started as well. Gakpo played with David Klaassen, played in the number 10 role, I believe it was. So like when you saw the lineup originally from the first game, were you happy with the changes going into the game, or did you always feel like, do you know what, I'm unsure of what Van Gaal's plan is here?
Yeah, well, I was happy with the Timber change because De Ligt, who played against Senegal the first game, he wasn't that good, and he also acknowledged that he wasn't comfortable on that position as a right center back who should be more on the right side. So Timber was more used to play that position. So for me, that was a great thing. I was a bit surprised that Koopmeijer played because Berghuis played a decent game last game against Senegal, and he has more creativity, and that's what he actually lacked this game. So that was a bit unfortunate. I'm not a big fan of Klaassen, but he played because we didn't have a great striker at this moment. Depay was still not fit enough, and Janssen, who played last game, didn't do well. So the only option was to put Gakpo in the striker position, and Klaassen is basically our only real 10 at the moment besides Gakpo. So as I said, we don't have any star players like Mbappe with Dembele or with Messi or with Rafinha. So we need to work with other type of players.
Well, your star boy is the Liverpool defender,
He's defensive, but he doesn't create chances for us. But
yeah, exactly.
I mean, our defense is normally one of the best sides. I mean, you got De Ligt at Bayern München, you got Van Dijk at Liverpool, and then Timber Ajax, and then you got De Vrij at Inter. So City, Ake at City. Yeah. So we got good defenders, but we lack creativity in the attack, and that's what we are lacking at this moment. And yeah, we're now more of a team instead of. And if one or two don't play that well, it's a house of cards. It's
that's it. There's no one you can really rely on. Like exactly.
Yeah, we can't rely on a player like Mbappe who can make the difference. Even though France doesn't play well, boom, he can create something. Neymar can create something. Dembele can create something. Brazil, I mean, I can name so many players.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We don't have that at our side.
So could I quickly ask him, Stu, one question just on Gakpo? Because obviously we're linked to Gakpo quite a lot. I think personally we should sign him. I know some people are saying it's a lot of money and stuff, but I think in terms of our squad and the depth we need, he's a different type of profile. Can play out on the left, can play up front as well. We've got Martial injuries, who obviously I love. But do you think Gakpo would be a very good addition for us? Someone who watches him sort of or watches Eredivisie every week instead of someone that watches a couple of games. Do you know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's basically the star player now in the Eredivisie in the Netherlands. He has so many assists and he scores a lot of goals. He unfortunately he plays for our rivals PSV. So I would have loved if he would go to United. So that means we don't have any. We would lose him as one of our competitors. But will he be an asset for United? He can be. He definitely can be. But he will need time. I mean, he needs to adjust. He won't be a player that can play directly in the first 11. He won't be a starter, but he can eventually be a starter because he got a lot of potential. Definitely.
Okay, cool.
Cheers, one question, because I just read today that the one who is going to United is Depay. It's also in Netherlands, and you're talking about that too?
Memphis United.
Yeah, they're saying
United. Yeah. They won it last summer, and they're saying they're coming in January to make a bid to Barcelona.
I'd much rather Gakpo, man.
In the newspaper,
I don't know. In the Netherlands, I guess for United, you need a real striker, not Gakpo or Depay. You got already players in that position.
But in the Netherlands, they state like it will be a choice between Gakpo and Depay, and Depay would be the cheaper option because he would cost only 5 million, while Gakpo would be, I think, somewhere in the 50. So it would be only a financial part if they would choose for Depay.
But it's also a long-term or short-term bid, So
exactly, and I want a long-term. This is what I'm ready for. I think when you look at what Ten Hag's doing and what we're trying to build in the next 3 years, I 100% believe that Gakpo for me is the better option. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
Going back to the World Cup, and regarding
no. That's
my opinion. You're struggling in the offense, creating occasions and getting some creativity, but instead you got a massive block. That team. It's so serious. So it's so hard to find a space in that defense, in that team when it's get compact. So, in any ways, Van Gaal, he's a master. He's a senior.
He's a master, man.
How do you see him in Netherlands? Because, out of Netherlands and here in Spain, the consideration of Van Gaal and after his pass through Barcelona, the best one you can guess, right?
Yeah.
But I bet, in the Netherlands, you love him.
We love him. Yeah, here in the Netherlands, we love him. We love him. And he can be like the strict teacher, like a real parent, or he can be funny and be crazy. You should see his press conferences. It's always comedy. It's always a comedy. And as you said, by top teams, and I'm talking about the Argentina, the France, the England, they don't like to play against this team in Netherlands because we often play our best game against such great teams.
Of course.
And we struggle against the teams like Ecuador, and you saw it with Senegal, etc. So, my take is quarterfinals, as I said during the last episode, and I stick to that. But we need to see whether England will be top of the group or not, because
exactly
against them in the second round.
Well, unfortunately, Big Steve is not arrived yet. I hope to maybe we'll join later and connect. But yeah, Ty, you need to talk to me as well, man. Brazil, that goal from Richarlison is out of this world, man. I was in front of my TV. I was you know what? Everyone was surprised about the finishing, but the first touch, also the assist, but the first touch for me was the craziest part of the goal. Like
Brilliant.
the way he touched the ball perfectly,
it spun into his angle for him.
That
the way
was
he turned.
mental.
Brazil,
He
like with
assisted himself.
Yeah, honestly, Richarlison for Brazil and Richarlison for Spurs are just. I'm not saying that he's bad for Spurs, but it's just two different players. But with this Richarlison for Brazil, I just believe that he's not the best individual. But when you're looking at a World Cup and looking at a team, he's just got the profile you need. When you have players like Neymar, who obviously I love anyway,
we'll talk about this because I'm still crying. By the way,
I know he's at the group stages. But when you have someone like Neymar who a flary type, but you don't know if he's going to be really involved in the game, and sometimes it can pass him by. When you've got Rafinha, who is obviously left-footed, but he's going to cut and he's kind of predictable. Then you've got Vinicius, who's that dynamic approach. I feel like with Richarlison, from all of them, he has that sort of the rawness in him, that hunger, like the extra determination. And I feel like that's the difference for Brazil right now. If they had another type of player up front that was similar to the wingers and Neymar, I feel like they could lose or draw some games just because they don't have that extra oomph in their car. But Richarlison is that guy, man. He'll put his elbows about. He'll be physical. He'll be gritty. And you know what? That second goal was brilliant. But for me, Stu, I was actually going to say I love the first goal because that type of place to be in for a striker on the rebound, anticipating. Positioning. Tournament football is just about winning that game in 90 minutes. It's not about playing a 38-game league season. You just need to win that game and get through. Yeah. And that's what Richarlison helped them do. He just arrived at the right place, right time. And after that, I think with Brazil as a whole, because we were messaging in a group chat saying, like, I think Sabi messaged me, like, Brazil need to step up or, you know, they need to find another gear. I was kind of content because I felt like Serbia weren't doing too much. However, I always knew that if Brazil got the first goal, it's like the whole nation, everyone follows the World Cup, and Brazil are the first team you think of. Once Brazil, the team, have got that first goal, I felt like the weight had come off because it's like everyone's waiting to watch Brazil.
Now they can enjoy.
Now they can enjoy. And I felt like once that first goal came, they could have scored 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good sign for Brazil. They weren't really troubled at the back, and I understand that they'll get bigger tests. But
Serbia, Serbia were physical.
They were physical. You know what? Neymar, most tackled player.
Neymar is out for the rest of the group.
Exactly. But I think this Brazil team will have enough.
Same ankle, same injury all the time. Always.
I believe, Stu, though, with this injury, like, at least he's back in knockouts. Brazil's the depth they have.
That's what they said.
Look at the subs they brought on, though. Like, I was watching Anthony, then it was Martinelli, then it was Gabriel. I was thinking the list is endless.
They're going to give him some super injections. Like,
don't worry, they need him. He'll want the injection. But honestly, I think overall as a whole, like, for a Brazil team, I don't know if you guys agree, but I thought it was a mature. The word I want to use it was a mature performance, and I think that's a good start. But I let everyone have their say on
the little disappointment I have noticed, and maybe Victor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but Rodrigo is still a bit struggling, isn't it?
You know, he's just arrived to the national team. Give him some time. You know, he's an amazing player, man. You'll see it now.
Are you happy with him at Real Madrid?
Are
you happy with him at Real Madrid?
Yes. Sure we are, man. He changed every match. You know, if he comes from the bench, he changed the pace of the match and he changed the whole match. So, and if he's playing from the beginning, he gives something different, you know, on the side. So for us, we are really happy with him. He's growing every day. You know, that guy is going to be
He's
massive.
Still young. How old is he? He's very young. How old is he?
He's still like 20, 21.
Yeah, okay. That's what
he's still young.
You know, he's still young. And you know, he's playing with the right players on his side, you know, playing with some people with some expertise in Real Madrid and also in Brazil. So give him some time. He's not to be on the first 11 in Brazil. Now Neymar is injured, so he's going to get some more minutes in these matches. And you'll see him, you know, he's something who is really different, you know. The guy, he has an enormous quality. He's
Paulo, did you find Brazil scary or?
Yeah, I thought that. I mean, I want to know what Ty thought, but I thought in the first half, I saw a lot of people saying that more was needed from Brazil. I think Serbia are a really good team. I do think they're very hard to beat. I did think at times Neymar was playing very deep. And he was kind of slowing everything down because you want him to be in those attacking positions. You know what I mean?
He does the same at PSG all the time.
Yeah.
That's really frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I find, Paulo? I think with it, Harry Kane was doing it today for England.
Yeah.
When the game's not going your way, you come deeper and deeper because you want the ball. Yeah, because you want the ball. But I agree with you. I think Neymar was dropping a bit too deep. Even in the second half, there were spells where he was doing it as well. And I'm thinking, just stay in that sort of pocket in between the defensive midfielder, and you'll get more space. But I don't know what to see on our first game, blowing out the cobwebs. But it's not something that I believe they can continue to do, because against the top teams, say for example, a Spain, who I really like, if you do that against like a Spain and you keep dropping deep, if they overturn the ball, they're already in your half. I don't mind if Neymar's getting the ball like further up the pitch, he's in the final third, he tries turning, but he loses it. Cool, they've still got 70 yards to go. But if you're dropping deep to the halfway line, trying to hit players on the half turn, you get hit by a Rodri or Busquets, the teams are running at your back four already. So I agree, it could be a problem further down the line, by the way.
But yeah, I think as well that, sorry to interrupt you.
No.
First half, a lot of us were saying that the fullbacks weren't doing enough. And in the second half, you see Alexandro with the shot that hit the bar. I was like, ooh, like these. I know that some of these fullbacks, like there might not be the biggest quality in depth, but I think that the maturity and the experience they have might actually be the best thing for Brazil.
Yeah.
So I think that performance in the second half it was domination.
I was impressed.
It could have been 5-0.
That shot from Casemiro.
Wow. You just advanced me, Sabi.
I love him, man. I
want to say, everybody's talking about Brazilian strikers, Brazilian defense.
I love
when you talk about the midfield, you got Paquetá, who is a great player, who gives a balance to the team, and not some balance. He's everywhere, and he can play and not some football. And then you got this guy, Casemiro. He's totally, he's an adding value to your team. It's something.
Thank you for giving him to us, man.
Look, Victor is missing him deeply now.
Thank you, man.
I'm missing him. Look, we're talking something right now here in Spain about Vinicius too. I don't know if you saw some matches about Real Madrid, but in the last matches, Vinicius is getting kicked, almost every time he gets the ball. And he's getting, a little bit nervous. He starts discussing with the other team. He starts insulting people, getting on fights and getting in this situation that we don't like to see him. Last year, when Casemiro was here, every time Vinicius got kicked, the first player to arrive there was Casemiro. He put his body in the middle between the other player and Vinicius. He calmed Vinicius. Focus on the match, And the next action, the guy who kicked Vinicius, Casemiro took to him, and he already knew what was happening with Casemiro. And then you got a player who is a massive player, totally focused on the game and not distracted with those kind of things. And now this year we're seeing him every day more and more distracted with these things. So we're missing Casemiro a lot.
Do you know what with Casemiro as well? I think Paolo might agree with me. Obviously, we get to see him now, so thank you very much for giving him to us. But of course, when you look at Casemiro, I think people look at him as a profile of like destroyer, defensive midfielder. I think he's very underrated when it comes to his passing. He can pass the ball. Did you see that pass when he like fizzed it in between the lines?
Yeah.
I was like, do you know what? Like he can do that, and I just think that people don't give him enough credit for his passing ability.
You know why he's underrated on his passes? Because he has been playing beside Modric and Kroos in so many years. And those guys didn't miss one pass. Some passes. So when you are the third one between those three ones, you are the bad one. You are the one with no quality, even if you are a great player.
He's really good on the ball, man.
Yeah?
Yeah,
that's very true. Let me run through the other results as well. We had Switzerland, Cameroon 1-0. I think we all said Switzerland, isn't it? When we did the predictions, yeah? So I said Uruguay, South Korea 0-0, Portugal, Ghana 3-2. We said Brazil, Serbia 2-0. And then, let's talk about that one. Wales, Iran.
It's two.
Tell me.
With another questions for all the guys here. I see Switzerland growing and growing every nation's competition. Those guys, they are like 10, 12 people coming from parents from other countries. Switzerland is a country full of immigrants, people coming from so many countries, and most of them from the Balkanics. And they're getting more and more players who have a great quality. So I guess, in my opinion, Switzerland is always there. And maybe it could be one of those surprises that are in the World Cup. What do you think, guys?
Well, me, obviously supporting France. We know we experienced this during the Euros, and we know that they are a scary team to play. But yeah, I agree with you that the squad looks more and more quality years after years. So yeah, definitely they're ones of the dark horse that we need to pay attention to. I thought Serbia was one of the dark horses as well. We played Denmark tomorrow. Denmark, one of the dark horse of the competition. We always struggle against Denmark. We'll talk about this in a second. But I think, yeah, Switzerland should be counted amongst, the dark horses of this competition, 100%.
I think. Sorry, go, Paolo. You go, Paolo.
No, I'm just saying it's Switzerland and Serbia. It's going to be a competition between those two. The winner between those, that will decide who will advance to the next round. That's clear as that.
I think that's a very difficult group, but I think like Brazil. I think Brazil will dominate. But when you listen, I wouldn't even count off Cameroon. I think that anything could happen. You know, when you got Cameroon, Switzerland, and Serbia, those are three teams I would. Serbia, Switzerland will be the most difficult one. I think that when you look at Serbia, they were always going to sit deep. They've got a lot of big players, very physical side. They make it dirty, and I think Serbia will actually go through. I think Serbia will go through. I think Switzerland are a team who, even if they do go through, I think they will struggle in the knockout stages. They always tend to struggle. They have a lot of quality. But I think I put them around the same boat as Serbia. I think if Serbia, go to the round of 16 or even the quarterfinal, I think eventually when the big team comes, I think they lack the quality that other bigger teams have. I think there's no real comparison when it comes to those bigger teams. But I do think that when you look at dark horses, they could be a team to do a letdown. Like Stu said, France, we saw that in that game in last. So yeah.
Do you know what's funny with Serbia? The only question I want to have for you guys is, I looked at obviously when they played Brazil and Dusan Vlahovic was on the bench. We obviously know that Dusan Vlahovic is a top striker in terms of the up-and-coming players. Do you see the manager for Serbia switching and playing Mitrovic and Vlahovic together because you're playing a Cameroon and you're playing a Switzerland where you are going to get more of the ball? Do you think Serbia's best approach would be to change and play two up top, or do you think no, leave Vlahovic on the bench and bring him on? See what.
Down in the qualifier, Serbia has played with a 4-4-2 with those two guys on the front. Mitrovic and Vlahovic.
So you think
the problem? I got lots of friends in Italy. Stu knows I used to live there, and most of them they're from Juventus. And what they say about Vlahovic is nothing but good. So down in this year, he's totally different. Since he arrived to Juventus, he's a totally different player from Fiorentina. He's not that massive striker making goals at any time, any position. Now he's struggling to making goals. And Mitrovic is in a level, he's playing really well in England. So that's why I think he just chose on the first game to reinforce the midfield in order trying to get the match against Brazil and trying to get the win on the midfield, because Brazil is playing with too many strikers. So maybe you got more people on the midfield, maybe you get the ball and then you get the possession, and then maybe you got Brazil not doing the things Brazil should be doing, and then win the match. So
do you think Vlahovic comes back in now then?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion, after this game, he will be back to what he was doing usually during qualifiers. He would be back to the 4-4-2. Maybe I'm wrong, but my opinion is that he'll be back to that system, and that he only tried this once against Brazil because he said, this is my shot. Win the midfield, win the ball, and then maybe we get the win. We make the minutes to pass by. Nothing is passing in the match, and then maybe we win. But if you leave Brazil, playing to his game, to this speed game, going directly straight to the goal, to the opposite goal, maybe you struggle to get the win. So I think that was my opinion, regarding Serbia. But
very interesting. Yeah. I know Mitrovic is, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's playing alone up front at Fulham, isn't it?
He
likes playing up front alone as well. Again, that's the perfect formation for Serbia to go back to winning, I'd say, if they did this during the qualifying stage. So let's see how it goes. Wales Iran, guys. Wales Iran, massive one as well. 2-0 for Iran. Big Steve is not here, but Big Steve was delighted to watch Wales losing, unfortunately for Wales. But this type of game shows you that obviously the new rule around stoppage time is really important, definitely changing the game, because those two goals were at the very, very end of the game, and it shows you that the game is not finished until the very last second again. So really impressive performance from Iran. What did you make of it, Sahbi?
Well deserved. I mean, they had so many chances. They created so many chances. They were really motivated. And they pressed a lot. So it was a matter of time. And I thought at the end, okay, it will be a draw. But after that red card, They went all or nothing. All or nothing. I really like that. I mean, 2 times. I mean, the post, the bar. You see that it was ridiculous that it was still 0-0 at that time, but well deserved, and they have now pretty good chances to advance if they play. I mean, they only need a draw against the US, and I can see that happening. And I mean, we already mentioned that during the previous podcast, the Asian teams.
Yes,
they are doing well. Japan, Korea, Iran, now
Saudi Arabia. Look at Saudi Arabia. Have you heard what happened today? Every player of Saudi Arabia will receive a Rolls Royce for the victory against Argentina.
Yeah.
This is mad.
Oh man,
national bank holidays.
That is mad. That is mad.
The thing is, with these teams, what I'm seeing as well is that we're seeing kind of the opposite of what we're used to seeing. A lot of these teams, they just tend to just defend and sit back, but we're seeing a lot of bravery from these teams. Like they're pressing, going after, which is quite surprising. I mean, it shows their mentality. Their coach. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video. The Saudi Arabian coach talking to the players in the
Hervé Renard. He's a French coach. Yeah, we know him quite well. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he was a coach of Morocco as well.
Yeah.
He has made so many miracles.
Yeah, he did.
With the North African teams.
Like these teams are they're just going for it, and I think that. I mean, we've already seen upsets, but I think if these teams continue to play like this, will they do that if they qualify to round of 16? I'm not sure. They might be a bit more reserved and play a bit more safe. But if they do that against some of these teams, you just never know, because I thought Iran, that was a completely different Iran that we saw against England. They should if they play like that against England, I guarantee it would have been a much harder game for England.
If,
talking about England,
if you get a chance, you have to see the mid time, in the locker room where Renard is talking to his players. Yes, massive speech. So if you can see it,
we saw it. Obviously, it's with a Franglish. So we get it.
It's like you can go and ask for a selfie.
I like when he said, "Do you guys want to stop playing and take a selfie with Messi and stuff like that?"
It was funny. It was funny how they translated. How he translated with emotion.
Creamy.
Yeah, the translator needs to translate with emotion, otherwise there's not the same impact, obviously.
Exactly.
Well, it was all over the place, and wow, if you were a player in the dressing room and you're getting roasted like this, trust me, the second half you have to do something. But it worked really well. It did not work for Qatar, unfortunately, because they are kicked out of the competition. They lost against Senegal 3-1. Senegal is doing all right, even if Sadio Mane is not here. I like the performance of our previous PSG players, such as Diallo and Idrissa Gueye. I think they are confirming they are at the top level during this competition. So I think Senegal can perform, can do something as well. So we should keep an eye on Senegal. What do you think?
Yeah, it'll be a great match against Ecuador. It will be a decisive match.
That will be tough, man.
And Ecuador is tough, but Senegal is more. They have their physique, which play a great role. It can be.
It will be an interesting game, Ecuador Senegal. That will be an interesting one.
Yeah, so I'm really interested to see that game, man.
So you were talking about Iran, England. Unfortunately, Big Steve is not here. But what happened today? I have someone here in the stream that said in the group chat that the England that we saw today is the normal England, and this guy is Ty.
Yeah,
so, Ty,
but also I live here, of course.
Tell us everything about what happened.
Yeah,
today.
man. This is. I can speak on England as well, of course. They're like my second, like, you know what I mean. I want them to do well.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So with this England team, this game today absolutely summed up everything. You get excited off one victory, scoring 6. And then when you say, right, you got to play a team that has a bit of a tactical nous about them, or they're going to give it some, look what happened. And like even the midfield, we're talking about, and I'm probably going to, people might clip me for this, but you talk about Declan Rice, you talk about, Jude Bellingham, who's like the next big name. I'll be honest with you, like I'm not on the big hype with Jude Bellingham. I always feel like he's got a bit of a loose touch. He's quite raw. You look at that USA midfield today, yeah. Musa, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie.
They was actually strong,
they dominated the England midfield. They did, period. I admit that. They were in control. They were tenacious. They were mobile in there. They were much better than England. And I think England have kind of got lucky to come away from a point with that game, because they just weren't good enough. I think even Gareth Southgate, which makes it worse.
I was about to mention Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
man.
Big Steve said
what
it, man.
About Foden? What about Foden, mate?
Bro.
He's moving mad. This man
what is going on with this?
Everyone was asking why Foden is not playing. Try something with Foden.
My whole group chats, I'm in loads, obviously, football group chats, and when we talk about England and stuff like that, we're all like, how can one of the best players in England, one of the best young players, not get any minutes? Like Mason Mount, he's in there. And do you know what? I saw someone tweet this, and I thought it was bang on. If you're a number 10, your best trait cannot be working hard. That is Mason Mount. His best trait's working hard, not quality of this, not creative in this, not goal scoring in this, or running the game. His best trait is working hard. I'm sorry, if you're the best player working hard, that is not starting at Brazil, Spain, Netherlands, Germany.
Agreed.
Because you work hard.
Guys, this is the second game now. I've forgotten he's on the pitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything in possession. And I thought England were quite poor. I still thought, I don't know if the US deserved to win that game. I think that England still created a few opportunities.
It was really even.
They were poor. Paolo, man, I've got to be honest. England were poor. Like Gareth Southgate come out in the interview and said, you know what, I thought we controlled the game in terms of keeping the ball well at the back. The build-up. That build-up was Maguire and Stones doing 1-2s. Controlling the game at the back. I'm sorry. I'm done with this guy, Paolo, man.
Yeah, no, when your defense are the best players in the game, that's how you know what went wrong. I mean, on Henderson and Grealish as well. I mean, you're bringing on a player who you got 2 DMs now, so clearly you're happy with a draw. England was still quite on the front foot, so it just creativity just lacked everywhere as soon as Henderson came on. Grealish didn't really do much. Rashford went on the right, which I don't think is his best position.
I don't think he's fair.
Exactly. I would have just put Foden in that number 10 position. Mount was doing nothing.
Yeah, go on, Victor. You want to say something?
Sterling for Rashford, because Rashford is a lot more direct on the left. From the right, you're not going to get as much from him. No crosses. You're not going to see as much from him. So I don't get what Southgate was doing. He's quite clearly happy with a draw.
Yeah. I think it gives him no choice, but to make changes this game. So it could be a blessing in disguise that he's drawn this game, because now Foden needs to be introduced. Maybe Rashford or Grealish does start. And also, just one point before I come to go to Victor, is that this guy gets away with it a lot. Mr. Harry Kane. Trust me, like there's some games he just goes missing. I'm not going to say that it was just him that was poor. I know he didn't get the service much, and the midfield was really poor today. They didn't really punch it into the lines and stuff. But when he did get the ball, failure to hold it up, failure to really link it up and, make the right decisions in the final third. And I just thought Saka and Sterling were not kind of anonymous as well. And the bad thing about these games as well is that I feel like the games just passes them by. When you've got a captain that,
as a neutral, it was a bit of a boring game.
It was boring. It's boring. Yeah. And I don't feel like England have many leaders that can rally them.
I disagree. I don't.
What, you think England were good?
For me, it hadn't been a boring game. You got no goals, but you got a game going from one area to the other area all the time.
I found it boring as well.
I disagree, Victor. Yeah,
me too.
For me, it was
not really box to box.
No chance. And the game got like some minutes when the US was dominating, then other minutes that when England was dominating, there was nothing happening. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. But USA, for me, is a funny team to see. USA is something different in this World Cup. Those guys, they got a great physique. And I think the win today, or getting this point against England, which is a win for them, in my opinion, it came because of his physics. When you go in the midfield and England has only Declan Rice trying to fight against those 3 beasts that the US got.
Yeah, they knitted it too well.
He can't arrive every time, If you got a team like the US in front of you who are really physics, put Declan with somebody like Calvin, and maybe give the position intent to Bellingham, to Jude, and then you got those 3 on the midfield, and maybe you can start playing differently, But if you got Mount, as you said, his big 3 is like being effort, doing efforts for the team. No, he's doing nothing. And Raheem Sterling, in my opinion, is the most disappointing player in the UK, in the England team. He did nothing down in the game.
That I agree.
So only losing balls. So I don't know why he's playing.
But
I disagree. I disagree with that, man. I'm sorry. I had to step up. I disagree with you're being harsh on Raheem Sterling, mate, because at one point he was the only one. He was completely blocked in the midfield, and I've seen him trying few passes that were trying to break the lines, and he was the only one doing the right runs to try to break the midfield, to be fair. And I know he struggled a lot today, but I think you were a bit harsh on him, to be fair. He's bringing a lot of pace to the game, trying when his block he's the creative one. I'm sorry, he's when everything is blocked, he's the one trying something creative. I get the creative on the bench. It does not work, but I think I disagree a bit. Yeah,
but because the real creators of England are on the bench, you know.
Yeah, true.
Grealish and Foden, they're on the bench.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, England is still one of the big
even
four
Trent,
names
guys. Even Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's creative.
He could have come on. Do you know what I mean? You could make changes when you look at it. Like I said, on paper, other than Brazil. On paper, England have got the second probably best attack in the World Cup, you could say, based on depth and sort of the multifunctional positions they have. I know Callum Wilson's obviously a bit of a raw strike in terms of international experience, but the rest of them, the Rashford, Grealish, Foden, Saka, Sterling's, like there's a lot of depth there. But were you going to ask me something?
No, I just want to say just one question. I mean, you said that Southgate was a bit, he was quite satisfied with the play and they were in control, etc. Do you really think he will make any changes in the next game if he said something like this during an interview?
Good question. I think I don't think he might want to, but I think he has to. I think in my head, I'm looking at him and Harry Maguire come out on the other side and said it wasn't good enough. So you've got a manager saying satisfied and a player saying not good enough. So there's obviously there's a mixed message there. So I believe that Southgate might be actually saying something more positive, deep down saying to the players it wasn't good enough. And I think he has no choice but to make changes. We won 6-2, or England, we were England 6-2. And then to draw today. And I think what a lot of teams are finding, obviously, like we're saying, tiring after the 70th minute, 75th minute. I do feel like when you've got players like the Rashfords and Fodens on the bench, if you're not going to play them after drawing and having 2 games now, when are you going to play them? Because you're not going to start them in a quarterfinal, semi-final with other players that get minutes. So I believe he has no choice but to make maybe about 3 changes, if I'm totally honest. But on the flip side, he has to stay with that same formation. Because like Big Steve was saying, if England want to do anything in this competition, they can't revert to type and go to a back 5, because that just basically throws 3 attackers onto the pitch when you've got 7 attackers on the bench. Do you know what I mean? So
one thing I will say though is that I thought wasn't Eric Dyer warming up in the first half, in the end of the first half? I thought what he was going to do was put in a back 3 and he was just going to let the fullbacks just bomb on and spam crosses.
He's negative though, Paolo. I think even bringing on Jordan Henderson, everyone was like, "What are you doing there?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like everyone's seeing for their own true selves now. Gareth Southgate being Gareth Southgate. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I could trust you guys.
We discussed this. Like after this World Cup, he needs to go, man.
Done. He's done.
Even if okay, I have a question for you then. If Gareth Southgate wins you the World Cup, England, would you keep him as a manager?
No. I think I agree with Big Steve. I said no matter what happens with him this competition, he goes. And I said the same for Paulo. I was talking to Paulo about it, And I said if Fernando Santos wins the World Cup for Portugal, I believe
he said the same for Didier Deschamps as well.
Yeah, so all 3 of us are like all 3 of us are in that same boat.
I think this manager who are already discussed before the World Cup, if they win the World Cup, they quit. They leave. They leave on the top. They say, you were discussing me. There you are, your cup. I'm leaving.
You know what's mad though? Do you know what's mad? When you think about it now, you got a France team that could potentially win the World Cup. You've got a Portugal team, like Victor even said, can win the World Cup. You've got an England team that on their day, if everything clicks, can win the World Cup. But everyone is being held back by their manager, not the players. How mad is that? You're going into a World Cup, 3 top teams here, Portugal, France, England. And we're all talking about our manager would go if we won it. So that shows how much impetus or effect the manager's having on the actual team performance, which you don't get a lot.
So question for Victor then. If Luis Enrique wins the World Cup for Spain...
Oh, he's brilliant.
Well, what's going to happen for Luis Enrique? Are you happy with Luis Enrique?
Guys, I think the Spanish team is playing great. When firstly they hired Luis Enrique, I thought he was the right choice. But, he got into this fight against the press and the social opinion, and, trying to say, if you do not agree with my decisions, you are, archaic fan from Real Madrid and you're against me because I quit Madrid for Barcelona. I think, he's going to leave. I think he's going to leave no matter what would happen. No matter if we win the World Cup, no matter if we but he's going to leave because he wants to leave. You know,
does he want to? I don't know. What Victor? Does he want to go? Because I don't see that stuff in England here. Because I love Luis Enrique as a manager. Does he want to leave? Does he want to? Is there a report? Does he want to go back to club football?
I guess yes. He didn't report that. You know, he didn't say that in public. But what he said is that he's willing to quit to go back to the teams, and you know, there's a chance. There's a club which right now is in the top of La Liga, but we'll see what happens at the end of the season for FC Barcelona. If they win a title or not, you know, Xavi was not the election of Laporta. Laporta didn't want Xavi. He got Xavi because he was the only option, the cheaper one that summer, and the people, the fans were happy with Xavi and wanted Xavi at the bench of Barcelona, but not him. So Laporta is the biggest defender of Luis Enrique in Spain. So there's a chance in Barcelona. Everybody's talking about Atletico de Madrid, what's happening this summer with Simeone.
Wow. So
you know, there are big spots in La Liga that may be open this summer.
Wow.
So we'll see. You know, he's a great manager in any case.
Could I ask you?
We don't agree with all the election of the team because we got people that didn't even play 1,000 minutes in La Liga.
Ask him.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because I like Spain. I've actually said if Brazil don't win it, I think Spain can go all the way. You should have won the Euros.
Did you say that? When did you say that?
No, I might not have been on this show.
No. We were all here. We all ruled out Spain until they won 7-0. We were all saying Spain.
Oh, no, when the show then. Sorry, it was never a foul show.
No, but
okay.
We got no rival the other day, guys.
So I like I said, I think they should have won the Euros. I think I might have said that on this show because obviously they played really good football. They would have beaten them in the final. Nations League, you went and beat Italy back at the San Siro and then lost to France in the final of the Nations League.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys play really good football. In terms of a team, I feel like you've got the most fluidity and cohesion at the moment. And that's what I personally think. Yeah. But with Rodri, I wanted to ask you, with Rodri centre-back, I thought it was a clever move in terms of obviously when he wins the ball, he can pass it through the lines. He's naturally a defensive midfielder. Do you think he keeps Rodri at the centre-back position or was it just for one game because you'll dominate Costa Rica?
Look, the other day we got no rival, okay?
Yeah, okay.
During the last 4 years, every time Spain faces a big name, we lost. Okay, we lost against any big name. So our real exam is on Sunday. You know, Rodri, you are Luis Enrique. You bring 4 center defenders to the World Cup, and then you make playing one midfield on defense.
So would you play Rodri? Would you play Rodri on Sunday?
Those positions, and then you put a midfield on that position. Okay. The other day we got no rival, so you put a midfield in defense, and then maybe you get a better position of the ball. But I think we already have enough with the midfield of Spain to get the positions against Costa Rica. Okay, in my opinion, you know, Rodri should be playing every match, but not in defense. In Busquets position, because Busquets
what change do you make Sunday?
He's gonna make change for sure. But for me, first one is getting Rodri on the midfield because he's way better than Busquets. Also, we got Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is a player who can change a game with an action. You know, he's the differential one. He's the one who can make something different. You know, and I'm a Real Madrid fan, but for me, Ansu Fati is the real deal of our strikers. You know, we got no other striker as him. Asensio, yeah, he makes 1 goal anytime. Ferran Torres is far away from his best level, even if the other day he made 2 goals. Dani Olmo is not even playing at Leipzig. So, man, you know, you got Ansu Fati on the bench, put Ansu Fati, put Asensio, okay, because he's also one of the best ones on the team.
And who you play in central defence? If you took Busquets out and put Rodri in defensive midfielder, who partners Laporte at the back?
With Laporte?
Who partners? Yeah, who plays next to Laporte?
Yeah.
I think he's gonna put Eric, but
oh my god,
I don't know, man, because he always wants
Eric
have somebody
Garcia.
who play the ball. Yeah. You know, for me, Eric Garcia is not even La Liga level. You know,
no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, he was the chosen one by the guru. You know, Guardiola chose him. So once Guardiola tipped on him, you know, everybody thought he was the best one. But obviously,
it's scary, man. You've gone from Puyol, right centre back, Ramos, right centre back.
Swim windows are moving mad. Like, what's going on? Like, we all change positions. What's going on? No, I'm just taking this opportunity that Victor is here for Ty and Paulo to have a reaction from you, Victor, on David De Gea not being in the Spanish national team.
Oh man, he's the best goalkeeper we have. I don't have any doubt. He's a massive goalkeeper. But even Kepa, you know, you can find lots of memes in the Spanish social networks about David Raya and Robert Sanchez. You know, they are good. Okay, I don't say they are not good. They're playing in Premier League and they're good goalkeepers. Okay, but we got a huge lineup of goalkeepers before them. You know, you can even take Pau from Marseille. He's a great goalkeeper. You can take Ramiro from Real Sociedad. How does it come that Real Sociedad is on the 3rd position in the Spanish Championship? There's not even one player in the Spanish national team. Are you kidding me? Real Sociedad is in the 3rd position in La Liga. You got Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino is the best midfield in Spain right now. He is the leading assist in La Liga. He can make box to box. He's an awesome player, and he's not on the list. Bryce Mendez from Real Sociedad, he's making like 4 or 5 goals already playing in the midfield, and he's not even on the team.
Okay.
Barcelona is trying to buy Zubimendi, and he is valuable for the Spanish team.
No, but Luis Enrique said that he has chosen not the best player, but the best team. That's basically what he said during the interview. But I don't know.
Yeah. He said that when he wants. Like, for example, okay, I want to call my team, and then I call these guys. Then Gaya get injured. I need a new guy. And then instead of bringing my guys, and these my guys would be Marcos Llorente, who is playing in FC Barcelona and who has lots of experience. Yeah. Then I say, no, I'm going to make a discover. I'm going to bring a guy who is in the best shape of La Liga. I'm going to call Alejandro Balde with not even 1,000 minutes in La Liga.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want any player who could make any shadow on him. Yeah. Like, for example, you got Iago Aspas. Iago Aspas during the last 4 years has been the top scorer in between the Spanish players.
Rodrigo.
And he's not going. You got Borja Iglesias making 8 goals, you know. And
that's a good one, Paulo. I just heard you say Rodrigo from Leeds as well.
Leeds, yeah.
I didn't hear you, Paulo.
Rodrigo from Leeds.
Yeah.
He was in the squad. Yeah, he's on and off, but he's still an outlet. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know what? I'm really looking as a neutral. I'm looking forward as a neutral. Like, I'm really looking forward to that Germany-Spain game, because for us guys here, Netherlands, obviously England, Brazil, France, Portugal, it has a big say on potentially our World Cups as well. Because if Germany lose that, they are out and they're done. And I know Germany, for me, I'm not really feeling them still. But
just saying this out loud, it's mad, man.
Yeah, it knocks out one of the big guns. It's like in the Champions League. I know we're going to wrap up now, so I'll just be quick. But you know, like PSG have got Bayern Munich. Teams like Liverpool, Man City, they're looking at it like, well, one of the big teams are going. Do you know what I mean? So when you look at Germany, Spain, if Spain beat them, Germany are out. For everyone, that's like, right, that's one big team gone. So, you know, the dominoes could fall on Sunday. Let's see, man.
We can be out, you know, even if we beat Costa Rica 7-0. We cannot make it through the group, huh? Because now you play against Germany, who is win or go home, and then the last game you got Japan. As you said, you know, that's an awkward team that can surprise you at any time. So Japan is gonna win against Costa Rica. It's gonna arrive with 6 points to the last day.
True.
And they don't even need to win you.
Now that's interesting. Let's talk predictions then, because tomorrow we have Tunisia, Australia, Poland, Saudi Arabia, France, Denmark, and Argentina, Mexico. So Tunisia, Australia, score prediction. Ty, you can start.
0-0.
0-0. Okay, Sabi.
1-0. Tunis.
1-0 Tunisia. Yeah. Okay, Victor.
I would say 0-0. Yeah.
Okay. Paolo.
1-1 for me.
1-1. I'm going 2-0 Tunisia. I think Tunisia will win comfortably. If you want to do also match predictions, you can just scan the QR code on your screen, join Matchday community, and also you can have a leaderboard, play with your friends, and you have also cards of players. There's a special edition for the World Cup, so click the link or scan the QR code on your screen. Poland, Saudi Arabia. Ty.
That's like saying salt or pepper.
Depending if they're going to offer Rolls Royce to the players again or not.
Yeah, well, Lewandowski hasn't got a World Cup goal to his name. He had a big opportunity last time. and Saudi Arabia will come on form. Obviously, with that win, I'm gonna go. That's gonna be tight. I'm gonna go 1-1.
Okay, Sahbi.
Yeah.
I think it will be a 2-1 win for Poland. I think they don't gonna underestimate Saudi Arabia. So and Lewandowski will have to score that goal eventually.
At some point.
At some point. Yeah. Victor?
I'm gonna say 2-0. I think Poland. They're gonna. Yeah, they say already Saudi Arabia, so they're not gonna surprise them.
Okay, Paulo.
2-1 Saudi Arabia.
I'm with you. I'm with you, bro.
Carry on. I like that. Carry on.
I'm with Paulo 100%. I think
this is being recorded. This is being recorded.
I think it will be a tight one, but it will. You know what? If they win that one, maybe they will just build like skyscrapers for each player, like the size of
their own hotels.
Size of Burj Khalifa, Okay, and then we have France.
Your game.
Denmark, yes.
I think you should start, Stu.
Should I start? We had a very bad record against Denmark. They are a bit of the dark horse. Obviously, we struggled against them. But I've watched their previous game. I'm not that scared. I think I think it will still be a tight one, but I think we will win that one. I'm going for if we have the same lineup, obviously starting 11.
I heard Rafael Varane starting, by the way.
Yeah, because Lucas Hernandez is injured, like proper injury. So I'd go with 3-1 France. I think we will still concede, but I think we win that one. 3-1 France. What about you, Ty?
2-0 France. I think it'll be solid. I agree with you. I'm not.
Clean sheet as well.
Denmark is good. Yeah, I'm going 2-0. 2-0. Yeah.
Okay. Sabi?
2-1 for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Solid.
Victor?
2-0.
2-0. Okay, Paulo?
2-0 France.
Okay, wow, you guys are more positive than me. I think
easy game for you.
Fair enough. Ooh, big South American game as well. Argentina, Mexico. This one, I've seen like videos of fans already clashing in front of the stadiums today ahead of the game. Yeah, that's mad, man.
Yeah.
The rivalry is real.
A lot at stake.
Yeah. Ty, what do you think? Argentina, Mexico?
I'll be honest. I think Argentina would just turn it around. This isn't the same Mexico we've all grew up on in 2014, Rafa Marquez era. I feel like it's different. I'm gonna go with Argentina. I'm gonna go with 2-1. I think you say 3-1, but I think 2-1 because of the rivalry. I think it will make the game tight.
The intensity will be
the intensity. But Argentina and Messi to score 2-1.
Okay, Sabi.
Yeah, I'm totally with Ty on this. 2-1. Messi will score. I think Mexico lacks a bit of creativity. They all depend on Lozano.
And also, Sabi, Raúl Jiménez just come back from like 3 months injured. He's not ready.
Yeah. So for me, solid 2-1.
Okay, Victor.
First of all, I got a lot of friends in Mexico. I spent a lot of time there. So let's say they're from North America, okay? Because if not, they're gonna get mad.
Sorry, brother.
But in my opinion, they're gonna get 1-1. Mexico rage, those guys. They're not gonna leave Argentina to their game. So 1-1.
Okay.
I think it's also going to be a 1-1. I think that I think Mexico, even though I think Sabi, what I saw from Mexico is they do lack creativity, and I think that, like you said, Ty, they're not the team we've seen in recent years. I do think 1-1. So I think Argentina are going to have a hard time getting out of this group.
And they got Mimo Ochoa. Don't forget him.
Yes. Yeah, especially if there's a penalty for Argentina, we can expect Ochoa to save it, obviously. I think it will be a tight one. I think we'll see quite a few goals. I'm going for a 2-2. I think it will be a draw. And I don't know why. I see big late dramas and stuff like that, like massive.
It's a dirty game. I think Mexico are going to make it hard for Argentina.
Yeah, 2-2, like with late drama as well. I'm actually quite looking forward to that one, to be fair. If you want to do also your predictions, guys, scan the QR code on your screen, play on Match Day. You have the app, you have the website, and you can play with your friends. You also open the pack, like a player pack for the World Cup. You will have players of the World Cup. You can build your squad, etc. Big up to Match Day. Big up to FanFest, guys. Let's catch up in 2 days again. I can't wait, because
and that will be just after the Germany-Spain game as well.
Before leaving, I want to know your prediction on Spain, Germany. Before
I was about
giving.
to say, yeah, because
Okay.
also you have the games of Sunday. So Sunday, Japan, Costa Rica, quickly. Japan, Costa Rica.
Japan, Costa Rica. I'm going 2-0 Japan.
Okay, Sahbi.
2-1.
Okay, Victor.
3-0.
Okay, Paolo.
2-0 Japan.
Okay, I'm going 2-0 Japan. Belgium, Morocco. Ty.
Oh, Belgium, Morocco. 1-0. 1-0 Belgium.
Okay, Sahbi.
2-2.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, Victor.
2-2. I want drama like you.
Yeah, Paolo.
1-1.
Okay, I'm going 1-1 as well. I think Morocco will go for it 100%. Croatia, Canada. Ty.
Ooh. 2-2. Gonna be goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sahbi.
1-1.
1-1. Okay, Victor.
2-0.
2-0 Croatia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay,
3-2
Paolo.
Canada for me.
Say again.
3-2 Canada.
Yeah, we remember.
I really like Canada. So
Paolo's predictions are on fire today. Actually, I'm going for 1-0 Canada. That late drama as well. And the main one. Let's start with you, Victor. No, let's finish with you. Actually,
Yeah.
Spain, Germany.
Yeah, I think Spain are going to do it. Dominate the ball. 2-1 Spain. 2-1 Spain.
How did we concede? Okay, Sahbi.
I'll go for a draw. 1-1.
Paolo.
4-1 Spain.
Wow,
I'm going for a 3-1 Spain. 3-1 Spain. Okay, Victor is.
I'm gonna say 1-1. It's enough for us to go through the group. Yeah, 1-1. Don't wanna get the trophy before going on the competition. 1-1. It's okay. Let's go ahead.
Considering the
Let's face Japan
performance
and get
of
the
Germany,
group.
man, you should be more confident. Germany is so, you know.
Germany, they're playing for their lives.
But
those guys, if they lose, they go home.
Yeah, but
it's mentality, you know, Boskov, the mythic coach Boskov. He was always saying this is a game of 11 against 11, and Germany gets the win always. So
okay, fair enough. Sabi, would you say something?
It's perfect opportunity to eliminate one of the rivals.
Yeah,
but making 1-1, we eliminate them. That's okay for us.
That's very true.
Might be indeed.
Love that. Guys, thanks again. We'll catch up in 2 days. To all the viewers here, smash the like button, comment, share everything. You can follow Ty on his channel, Never a Foul, Sahbi on We Talk Ajax, Victor, massive Real Madrid fan as well. We'll have you back, definitely, man. We'll have you back. That was great insights that you provided, man. We'll have you back. Paolo as well is on United View, but he has also his own channel, Parisian Londoners everywhere, Match Day and FanFest. Thank you, guys. Have a lovely evening, night, and speak soon.
See you later,
Take care, guys.
Take care.